Hello, my name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries, and today's topic is industrial design. And you may be wondering why I have these food items here. And the reason why I do is because my personal belief about industrial design is best when you borrow visual cues from something that is compelling to you. When you borrow these visual cues, I think subconsciously, your brain looks at what's there and it compares it to something that was really good that you knew of. So when you look at different cars and you look at different products, you will envision, if you will, all kinds of things, horses and some sort of powerful thing. Or if you're looking at a toaster, it might be modeled after a beehive, or there's all sorts of natural shapes and unnatural shapes that we naturally clue into. So when we look at fruit and when we look at things that have grown on the branch of a tree, here's a fig, and you can see in many cases it has a teardrop shape. So we've got the pear there, we've got an onion, a garlic, we've got this, I guess that's a gourd. Here's a papaya, and as you can see, there's this kind of shape where it's thin on the top and it bows out. Now here is a piece of sculpture, or it's a vase that I purchased many years ago. I really loved it. I just saw it and right away I thought, wow, that's great. And so these are visual cues that are just in my head, and when I think about them, I like them. So what I did was I set out to start creating something that looked like that. And so I've got this piece of geometry that I started to create, and the very first thing I did was go in and create a sketch. And my sketch has these two splines in it. It's got a shorter spline here and a longer spline here, and it bows out nicely, and it reminds me of the shape of that, especially that fig. And then I went right into, let's get out of the sketch here. And then I created another sketch. See the sketch on the bottom? And when I did that sketch, I purposely made an ellipse, and I pinned the ellipse to the beginning of the two splines. That was very easy. Next, I did a sweep. And of course, the sweep command has a lot of beautiful, fantastically powerful features and functions. And so my scaling is just uniform. My section is anywhere along the guide. My alignment is parameter. And this was, it's basically the easiest way to do it. I've got preserved shape on it, not that it matters. And so then I have a nice teardrop shape that has a nice little rake angle at the top. I like it. Then I did some things to give it a base, if you will. I just extruded the bottom, and I extruded it at an angle. And then I started doing some blending. Now the blending that I did, this little blend that I put on here, was a G2 curvature continuous blend with an RHO of 0.65. That's my favorite. It's my favorite look, if you will. And you know you're a nerd when you have a favorite RHO factor that you just kind of like. The next thing was to start putting points on it, and these points are randomly distributed. I just put them on there everywhere I wanted to have a little volcano shape. Just random. It's just, just points at locations that I thought were good looking. And if I may, I'll turn on the rest of these and show them to you. So there's just a bunch of points on this thing. I shelled it out. At the top here, it's all edged, or it's a sharp. And so I put a face blend, a 3-entity face blend on there. The 3-entity face blend, if you've never used it, quite powerful. What you do is you make sure it's turned to 3-face blend, and you select a face with a vector that points in towards the center. You select the other face, and then the third face you select as the face that the blend basically gets rid of. And so now you've got this beautifully smooth edge on that thing. And then on one of the points, I created a datum plane. So the datum plane is through the point and tangent to the face of my my surface. I proceeded to create a sketch. Here's a nice little, it's like a little bullseye sketch on that datum plane at that point location. I did an extrude, as you can see, it's a conical extrude with a unite. I did another curvature continuity edge blend there where the cone meets the surface. And then, what did I do? I did another extrude, which is a hole that goes right through to the center. So if you fill this vase up with water, you'll be disappointed. I did another three-face blend on that little top face. So that's nice and smooth now. And then I patterned it. Now the pattern was not complex, but there's a few things to know about the pattern. So with the pattern, I did a, first of all, you have to have variational on, because what you're really patterning is the datum plane and those sketches and the extrudes and the subtracted extrude and the face blend, all of that. And what we're doing is a general layout. If you've never used it, it's amazing, because what you can do is you have a from point and then you have a bunch of 2 points. So my from point was the very first point that the original datum plane went through, tangent to the face. And then my 2 points are all the other points that I was able to select. And you certainly also want your reference point to be right on your from point as well. It's kind of important for this pattern to work. The orientation is follow face and follow pattern, and the project direction is along pattern plane normal. So when you say okay, you've got this beautiful thing. I will Control W and get rid of all the datum planes and points. Don't need to see the sketches anymore. So as you can see, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so in order to really show you how it would look, I will now go and render it for you. And where'd my render button go? Come on. Somehow I turned off my rendering. Hold on. Render. Render, full render. Is it on another screen? Let's see. Okay, here, let's do a Ray Trace Studio. There we go. There we go. You've got your Ray Trace Studio. As you can see, I also put a gold texture on it. So it's beautiful. That's a beautiful vase with these different little kind of, I call them hoothroids. You got to have a lot of fun. You got to have fun. Let's go back to workpiece. Okay, good. So that's how it looks when it's rendered with the Ray Trace Studio. Okay, and then I kept going, and I created a nice little table for it to sit upon. There you go. A nice little mahogany table. I actually put the, I put some textures on here, some mahogany texture, and you know, and then the whole thing, when you render it again, it looks absolutely brilliant. So there you go.